Thank you, Ciancola. Taoiseach, the recent budget slashed 88 million off regional and rural roads. These local and regional roads are the arteries that connect many parts of the country and are highly trafficked routes. These roads represent 96,000 kilometres of the total 101,000 kilometres of our public road network in Ireland, carrying over 54% of the traffic, but remain chronically underfunded since the financial crash. Poor quality roads can be a major cause of concern to communities, directly impacting economic development in our regions and rural areas. Ongoing underinvestment in these roads has now created a potential crisis, which the government chooses to conveniently ignore. Even analysis done by the Department of Transport under the Strategic Framework for Investment in Land Transport, published in 2015 and updated in 2019, conservatively estimates that investment of at least 630 million per annum was needed to keep the regional and local road networks in a steady state of maintained condition. This means that without this minimal investment level, our road networks would continue to deteriorate each year. For instance, my Cork South West constituency has one of the worst confirmed road networks in the country, according to an independent report by AIRO, carried out by the Minute Institute, commissioned by the Cork County Council. It stated that €750 million was needed to bring the roads in Cork County alone up to the standard as set out by Engineers Ireland. It also stated, Taoiseach, that under current government funding for County Cork roads alone, it will take 52 years to bring our roads up to the standards set in other counties. This report, Taoiseach, was carried out last year, and before this government slashed the roads budget this year. The National Oversight and Audit Commission 2020 report states, with over 33%, a staggering 1 in every 3 local primary roads are requiring urgent structural or defect rehabilitation, while 23%, almost 1 in every 4 of the county's regional road networks, being in a similar shocking condition. Cork County, according to the AIRO report, has the highest level of structurally unsound roads in the state, which should have warranted a major investment in regional roads in the 2022 budget, rather than the cuts announced. Despite the stark warning and many years of massive underfunding for roads since the financial crisis, only €561 million has been allocated for local and regional roads in 2022. This allocation represents a deep cut of €23 million over 2021 allocation, and is at least 70 million below what is needed even maintain the existing networks. Additionally, the national roads budget has been decreased by 65 million for 2022. Taken together, this means a massive 88 million or 7% cut, meaning any new capital investment projects are off the table. Taoiseach, when you, the Taoiseach and Minister Eamon Ryan kicked ball around Páirc Uí Chaoimh recently, before he announced funding for our roads for decades to come. Were you aware of this independent report carried out by AIRO on behalf of the Cork County Council of massive under-resourcing of our roads in West Cork? And if so, why was there no plan announced for any of our urgent road projects in West Cork?
Thanks, Deputy. I'm not sure that those figures in relation to the transport budget and the budget for roads in 2022 are quite correct. I'm going to have to go back to the office later on and check on them. As far as I'm aware, we found additional funding this year and for the remainder of this year for local and regional roads, and that's coming from the Department of Transport's budget, which will not be fully spent this year, and indeed will have to be carried over in part into next year. And we found additional funding as well for the local improvement scheme for laneways and rural roads in particular, and that's coming through from Minister Humphrey's department, and we need to maintain that funding, I think, in the years ahead, given the long list of projects that are still waiting funding. As the Deputy will acknowledge, we have lots of roads in Ireland relative to our population, and a lot of that is down to our settlement patterns, which are quite dispersed and not as concentrated as will be the case in other countries, and that makes them particularly difficult to maintain. But maintain them we should, because motorists also pay a lot of tax. Whether it's motor tax, whether it's VRT, whether it's tax on diesel or petrol. And some of that, and a lot of that, should be used to maintain and improve our roads. And indeed, local authorities can help as well. No local authority should consider itself entirely dependent on central government for funding for roads. They have the capacity to use money from the local property tax and indeed from commercial rates to improve their own roads. And it's appropriate, I think, that they should do so. Some money coming from central government, but also money coming from local resources as well. It's important that the two happen and not just the one. In relation to roads programmes in the round, the NDP which you referenced provides for a 2-to-1 split when it comes to spending on new transport projects. 2/3 spent on public transport, 1/3 spent on new roads. And just in the last year, we've seen some significant new road projects go to construction. The next phase of Dunkettle, for example, outside of Cork City, which you'll know very well, the Moycullen bypass, just west of Galway City, which a lot of people here will know well too, the Moy-Ross Road outside of Limerick City, and also the Turlock to Skermogue Road, the N5 upgrade. So despite claims to the contrary, just in the last year alone, 5 major road projects signed off by the Department of Transport and by the Minister for Transport, and we expect to see further road projects being signed off in the year ahead.
Taoiseach, Deputy Collins.
Thank you very much, Taoiseach, for your answer. The budget did slash 88 million off regional and rural roads for the coming year, Taoiseach. And I would like to remind you, because every time you announce or your colleagues announce anything for roads, West Cork is always omitted. We pay motor tax down there too, Don't think we're going around without taxing the vehicle down in West Cork. So the funds should come back there the same as everybody. And I'd ask you, the question I asked you a while ago, before yourself, Minister Ryan and the Taoiseach sat down and before you announced this massive fundings recently, had you read the AIRO report, an independent report carried out by the Cork County Council? It's vital that you give that straight answer. Had you read that report? And if you had, it would have made for start reading. When you announced your plans for Ireland at Páirc Uí Chaoimh, as I say recently, did you include the completion of the Bandon Southern Relief Road, awaited and been promised for decades and not delivered? Did you announce the plans for a full Northern Relief Road for Bandon so Bandon Town could thrive as a business town? Did you give the green light for the Inishannon and Bantry bypasses, or funding for long-awaited passing bays on the N71, the Bandon, Clonakilty, Skibbereen Road, or the R586, the Ballineen, Dunmanwich to Drumilly Road? I did not hear any announcement for these roads, but if I'm wrong, Taoiseach, can you tell me and the country today when one or all of these bypasses for West Cork are to start?
Thank you very much, Taoiseach, to conclude.
Thanks, Deputy. I appreciate these are important questions and these are important projects for people living in West Cork, but the question probably best put to the Minister of Transport rather than me, who'd have the most up-to-date information, and I'll certainly let him know that that you raised it here today in the Dáil. I'm very aware of the Strategic Framework for Land Transport Investment report, because it's a report that was commissioned some time ago when I was Minister for Transport, so I am familiar with that and have read it.
Taoiseach, that concludes today's Leaders' Questions. Just an announcement for the information of the House. I want to say that Deputy Jennifer Carroll McNeill has been nominated to the Committee on Parliamentary Privileges and Oversight. We move now to the order of business, and we've already agreed that for the duration of the COVID-19 crisis, the Rapporteur's report will be taken as read. So the question is, are the proposed arrangements for business this week agreed to? Not agreed. Deputy Collins.
Thank you. I would like that we give set some time aside this week to discuss about the climate action situation that we're faced with, and the difference of opinions that's coming out there between Minister Ryan, the Taoiseach, the Taoiseach in relation to the cull of cattle in this country and the effects this is going to have on rural Ireland and on agriculture in total, where the dairy and suckler herd seems like the experts that the Quango that Eamon Ryan put in place in this country are making it quite clear, the Special Advisory Council, that there will be a cull on cattle in this country. The Minister is totally delusional because he continues to be in denial about this. And what I'm saying is that we need to have a proper and full debate in this Dáil as to what is happening in relation, as there is a serious worry. There's 50,000 jobs in jeopardy here, and of the people with the suckler herd and the dairy herd in this country are very worried as to what's the outcome in this country.
Anybody else on the order of business? No. Taoiseach?
We'd be happy to have a debate on that matter. Obviously, that will be scheduled by the Business Committee, but we'll be very, very happy to have a debate on climate issues and the impact on agriculture and other sectors, if it can be accommodated this week, if not next week, when you'll have the benefit of seeing the Government's Climate Action Plan. But just let me be very clear, Deputy, there's not going to be any cull of the herd. That is not a proposal in the Climate Action Plan. What we anticipate seeing over the next number of years is herd stabilisation. Some farmers may increase the number of animals they keep. Others may decrease them because they decide to diversify into other areas, plant trees, engage in carbon farming, do other things. But we expect in the round to see herd stabilisation. It's staying at roughly the same size as that now, and we believe that a 10% reduction in methane, and it is 10% by the way, not 30%, a 10% reduction in bovine meatling can be achieved over a 10-year period, and that there be no doubt from the government and from this side of the House that Ireland without its beef industry wouldn't be Ireland. Ireland without its dairy sector would not be Ireland. We're proud of the fact that we're able to produce 9 times as much food as we need, and we're going to continue doing that.
Thank you, Taoiseach. No, you can't. No, you can only have one speak. Sorry, Debbie.
Just a point of clarification. When the Taoiseach keeps using this word, stabilising the national health, would he please stop using misleading language? That's like reconfiguration of the health service. It's outrageous, and you're codding the farmers of Ireland by coming out with that type of a statement. Stabilisation means a cut, and call it what it is, Taoiseach. And excuse me, call it, use plain language, please, and not gobbledygook.
Plain language now, please. You're out of order. Is there anybody else on the order of business? No. Can I take it that the proposed arrangements for the week's business is agreed to, insofar as the Taoiseach has accepted that there will be a debate on this matter in the very near future? Agreed? Thank you.